But I wouldn't totally write off sniping yet. I think this is going to be an even more relevant question when the new sniper drops, the AMR 4 or whatever.
Oh, the semi one, yep. Yeah.
Because it is going to be a hard-hitting, slow-handling, long damage range, semi-auto sniper rifle that's from BO6, and you will be able to use it in ranked, and it will have a range where you can do 299 damage with a headshot, and probably lots of damage even to like the torso. When have we ever seen something like that be good in ranked big map before? We're live. Welcome, boys and girls, to Dropshot Call of Duty podcast, episode number 480. My name's Casey, also known as Razinon. Today, I'm joined by Tanner.
Mm-hmm. That's what they're saying.
And we have. That's what they're saying. And we have played Call of Duty. Host Season 1 Reloaded. The update. And today we're going to talk about it. So, a lot to get into. Last episode, we had covered the Season 1 Reloaded patch notes. And that was long because there was a lot written down. And we told you guys that there were going to be 3 questions. Question 1, are the patch notes good? By and large, they were fine. They were like a 6 out of 10. Because a lot of things that need to be fixed, they didn't even mention.
Yeah.
But there were some bugs and critical issues that they set out to address in the patch notes and said they addressed in the patch notes, which leads us to question 2 that we had, which was, will what they said in the patch notes actually be implemented into the game, or are they just lying like they've done lots? And I am not pleased nor surprised to report implementation not good. Lots of things were just lies in those patch notes. They said they fixed a thing. They didn't. They didn't fix it. And then in addition to that, question 2 was a little sub question. What other things will they change and not write in the patch notes? And there are lots of those as well, which we'll of course get into. In fact, let me write that down.
What are you writing down, man?
Oh yeah. Okay, that. All right, cool. So, yeah, and then question 3.
Daniel, what you just typed, by the way, is one of my favorite things I've ever read. W chatter. Shout out to Daniel. Yeah, I agree with you fully, Daniel, by the way.
That's an extremely base comment, Daniel.
That's very base. Yeah. Is this Doug? Holy shit, man.
This is Doug's alter ego, Daniel.
Yeah, I agree, Dan.
Even more based. Yeah, we'll get into
Shout
it,
out to Daniel 1347.
Shout out to Daniel 134 and also 7. And then question 3 was, will any of this matter because there are lots of cheaters? Those are the 3 questions we now have answers to, and we will address today. So, starting off, we do have some announcements. Stick around to the end of the show to hear them. But we're going to get kind of the quick things out of the way, because this is largely going to be focused on Warzone, and more particularly Ranked Warzone, which is now live. But before we get to that, we got a lot of other stuff too. Some of the things we got outside of Warzone are Holiday Nuketown. It's fine. It's cool. It's festive. I like it.
It's snowy.
It seemed a little hazy to me at first, but it's fine now. The visibility on it is totally fine. I don't know what. Maybe I just had to get used to it or something. I don't know. But the visibility is fine.
Maybe you had to wake up. You're trying to play at like 2 a.m. when you wake up for the morning for the day or something. That's possible
as well.
You have to rub your eyes.
Might not have gotten that cup of Joe yet. I don't know why that's an expression, by the way. Why is coffee called Joe?
I like that term. I like that expression.
I like it too, but I don't know what.
Hot cup of Joe.
Well,
I hate it, but I like it. That's
Like
the
what?
thing for me. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Very weird. But anyway, so that's cool. And other than that, it's fine. The new face-off map is called Ratchet. I think it's called Ratchet. It's fine. I was pretty disappointed because people in the Dropshot community Discord, which is extremely active, we're all glazing it. They're like, "Oh, this is such a good face-off map. Wow, it's amazing." It's not. I mean, it's fine.
NPR
but
probably
someone
said it.
Someone said it earlier. It's just like an indoor shipment. That's almost exactly what it's like. It's like there are 3 lanes that are, and then there are also like 4 pieces of like structures in the middle in a square alignment. So you can run it down mid, you can run it down left, you can run it down right, or if you're in the middle of the map, you can go left or right to any of the lanes. That's it. Like, that's all it is. And there are a couple little back rooms. So it's like slightly different than shipment, but it's basically just an indoor shipment, which is fine, but it's not even as good as shipment. The sight lines are not as long because the lanes are broken up. You know what it's exactly like? That Tarkov Arena map. That's almost exactly what it's like. The one with the bus in the middle, and it's small, and it's indoors. And you can get inside of the bus, and then you can like walk up some stairs. I'll never know the name of it, but it's very similar to that. Because each lane, it's like you don't have a full sight line on the lane. There's some structure that protrudes halfway from the left, and then once you get past that, you can see mid. But in front of you will be a structure that protrudes halfway from the right, and there you go. So anyway, whatever. It's fine. It's not bad. It's just not good. It's certainly better than the last face-off map we got, which was like the museum or whatever. That's a dog shit face-off map. This one's fine, but it's nothing to write home about. And then let's see, what else did we get? New zombie stuff. This is cool. I played Citadel Des Morts twice, 3 times. So probably cumulatively 40, 50 rounds. It's fun. It's cool. I like it. You start off outside the castle, kill some stuff, open some doors, kill some zombs, get inside of the castle, and then, you shoot some locks, you kill a special monster guy, and then that becomes the pack-a-punch machine, and then you vibe out. So there's like an indoor, very claustrophobic sections of the castle, which makes it kind of dangerous. But then there's also like a substantial outdoor area. And then there's like, the new enemy, a couple new enemy types, actually. The new wonder weapon, which I've not engaged with yet. I'm sure there are a million Easter eggs. I'm excited to learn about those. And the new perk, Vulture Aid, which I like a lot. Basically what it does is, and we had talked about this, it gives you like more loot from zombies. So instead of zombies only dropping like salvage or maybe a lethal, they will drop salvage, more often a lethal, but then also they'll drop like an ammo stack as if you killed a mangler, except that it won't be a mangler, it'll be just some regular zombie. So you have way more ammo once you do that. And they'll also drop little essence vials. So I actually think the pro strat is that should be literally the first thing you buy, because the sooner you buy it, the sooner you get your return on investment back. And then once you've looted 2,500 essence worth of essence that you wouldn't have otherwise gotten because you have the perk equipped, well, now all the extra essence you're getting for the rest of that match is bonus. So this is like the only perk that literally just pays you back, pays for itself over a time span. So that's pretty cool. And that's to say nothing about the augments. The first 2, one of them like increases the loot radius, so you don't have to get as close to loot something, which is pretty clutch, actually. Especially if like there's a ton of salvage, but like a horde's coming at you, you can maybe whatever. And then I don't remember any of the other augments, but I'm sure they're quite good. But I think that's a cool little perk. And then the new ammo mod is called Light Mend. Would never run it ever. But there's an elemental pop machine, a dedicated one that unlocks quite early on Citadel. So you can get some light mends through that. Because I don't think you would ever run light mend as your ammo mod, but having it in the game makes elemental pop better, so that's kind of cool. But I haven't like noticed it yet. And then the new wonder weapon I haven't used yet, but it's like a sword, which is pretty dope, I guess.
Yeah, there were like 4 different swords, right? Is that what it was?
Do you remember on the first Cold War Zombies map, there was the suck and fuck, but then you could make it like one of 4 different colors and it would do different shit?
Yeah, uh-huh.
It's exactly like that.
Okay.
Yeah, so you unlock the regular sword and then you can make it whatever, a different color, and it does like some different shit, but it's basically the same kind of deal. That's my understanding. Yeah. So I'm excited to use that as well. But in the Cord, this map is also getting rave reviews, and in this case, I understand it. Also, the atmosphere is really nice too. Good atmosphere. And it's contained, which is cool, because Terminus is supposed to be like the big bad map that's like for the super sweats, which it is, but it's also just a shitty map because it's way too open, and it makes it kind of trivial to like never die, I think.
Yeah.
And it's also just not fun. I don't
it's
know.
not a fun map. I think it's too big.
It's too open, too open rather. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like there are parts that are really cool, but I don't know. And like the Der Wonderfizz, you have to engage with the water and the boat, and it's like I don't want to. I just want to play in the cool area, like the main area.
Yeah.
But you actually can't if you want to like get things, you know?
Yeah. After seeing Terminus, it does kind of make me realize I don't think they can correctly do like a big open map zombies and it'd be fun, like an Outbreak type thing. It's not fun. I didn't fully realize that you need like those smaller, tighter areas to make things interesting. You know,
Citadel has lots of those too.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
So from what I saw from the zombies nerds,
it's one route and it's like a tight tunnel.
Yeah.
So when you need to go like pack 3, it's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I got to be ready. Yeah.
So
cool.
the zombies nerds seem to love it. I saw one of the real big zombies YouTubers said it was, he thought it was a top 3 zombies map of all time, actually, but he'll probably change his mind and hate it in a week. But I mean, people right now really seem to love it. So that's good. Because that's a lot of content for zombie, just getting a new map. Because everybody was only playing Liberty Falls. Nobody was playing Terminus. So it's cool that now
Terminus is ass.
There are 3 maps, but now there's a second option, actually. So that's good.
Correct. Yeah. Because it's contained.
Yeah.
And that's what I think was missing the most right now from zombies is a self-contained map that is not like the Training Wheels map like Liberty Falls is. Because Liberty Falls is a great map, but it is fucking really easy. Like it's really small, very easy to evade zombies on, especially with the rappels and zips and shit. I'm sure that's also true on Citadel, but it's at least a lot more challenging, and it is quite a bit bigger than Liberty Falls, but it's still not like open-ended water shit everywhere. So this is like the first real classic zombies map we've gotten, in my opinion, as someone who's not like a zombies nerd like many of you may be. But I'm enjoying it quite a bit, and I will continue to, so that's cool. And then what else? There was a new field upgrade as well, right? Yeah. I mostly play solos. My friends are, well,
you wake up at like 2 a.m. and you go to bed at 6 p.m. So yeah, there's not a huge window for you to be playing with other people on zombies. Yeah,
that's probably true. So anyway, it's like Tesla Storm or whatever. Seems like something I'm not going to use solo. Yeah. But anyway, whatever. I'll research the augments on it, and then maybe there's some augments that make it more palatable if you're solo. But with that, it's cool. And then other than that, I think that was kind of it. The Maelstrom launched / released, as well as Shrapnel Radar. I haven't used Shrapnel Radar. It is in slot 1, I believe, though, in multiplayer. And this is where explosives damage will like mark enemies or whatever. Meh. I don't know. I mean, it's blue, so it's probably pretty good.
Major meh.
I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember what competes for it, but I don't really care. And then, yeah, I haven't used a shotgun yet. I intended to, and then I had totally forgotten to equip it. So I have no idea. Probably won't be good in Warzone, and may or may not be good in multiplayer. We'll see. So that's kind of it for that new stuff. You also played the new LTM, right? Because there were other
I played
things that
the
are new
Warzone
that I have not played.
LTM, if that's what you're
How
referring
was that?
to.
Yeah, I am.
I played the Area 99 one where there are Christmas trees around the map that have presents, and you open a present and it's got a stack of like 10,000 in it. It's got crazy guns. A bunch of streaks pop out of it. It didn't feel that much different. I mean, you can still go to a buy station and buy your loadout and stuff, so you can still do all that. The best thing about it is there seems to be no skill-based matchmaking because the lobbies are really, really bad. So if you're feeling down and want to do a little bit better, then I recommend you play that mode, which I think it's called Holiday Rush, maybe? I think that's the mode.
Okay.
But it's Area 99. There's a little bit of snow on the ground. Yeah, there are the trees. You just... you can just hit those if you want and then not ever go buy a loadout. Just use those guns, grab all the streaks, satchels, and everything. It's fun, but, whatever. We deserved a lot more for not getting anything for Halloween either. That was interesting. Remember that was the Black Helicopters theory that, well, now that it didn't come true, it was NPR that said it. It wasn't me that ever said it. I think it was NPR. He was like, "Oh yeah, maybe they're saving up for like a later event that's going to be huge." I'm like, maybe, yeah, cousin. And I was like, dude, maybe there's going to be a big Christmas event. And then to that, I can say there's not. So yeah, they come to snow in a few spots on Area 99 and added a few trees, and that's it. And we've had the same event a few times. So yeah, I guess we do just need the thousands of devs they fired. I don't know what else to say about that.
Well, I don't think we do. Like, I think it's a mid-season update. Throw some snow on the map.
It's mid, all right.
That's kind of enough for me. I don't like the super crazy Halloween LTM.
Just put snow on Urzikstan in every mode for a month. Just do it. Just cover the map in snow. That's all you have to do, and they don't.
It's like, I'm not asking for much. And, getting the snow on Nuketown, it's cool. Like, I don't really need more than that. Honestly, or putting snow on Liberty Falls, I don't really need more than that. If it's in conjunction with substantive good updates, which we didn't get. So, as cool as like the Halloween LTM was 2 years ago with the UFO and all that, and like the 5 bosses. Hey, you know what I would have preferred that entire fucking year of Warzone 2? A fun video game for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Not a really fun LTM that lasts for 6 hours max. Like, I'm done in 6 hours. Like, as fun as it can possibly be, I've experienced all of it, and I'm over it. I'm bored now in 6 hours.
Yeah.
And they spent 9 months making it.
They spent 9 months making it, actually.
Actually. So, I would have, as fun as that was for those 6 hours, I would have preferred hundreds and hundreds of fun hours in the preceding 9 months playing a game that was fun, well-developed, and good by good developers. That would have been better. But we didn't have that, obviously. But we don't need to tread old ground. There's new ground to tread in the exact same manner. So, cool. Anyways, I don't know. There's probably some other new stuff we've gotten that I don't really recall or care to recount. So, whatever. If it's relevant, it'll come up at some point. One other thing... we'll talk about it more later, is the new sniper. I think that actually might become quite relevant, but we'll get into it. So there are also still lots of new bugs. Well, there are some new bugs. There are some carryover bugs, rollover bugs, as I like to call it.
Rollovers, yep.
Yep. Can't res your teammates sometimes in Warzone.
Really?
This has been a bug.
Oh, yeah, that does happen.
So before the season update and also after the season update, there are times when your teammate is downed and you simply cannot revive him. It's not possible. The prompt doesn't show up, and it's not like a zombies Easter egg where the prompt doesn't show, but if you hold X, you still pick up the stupid fucking faucet. No, you can still hold X and not a goddamn thing will happen. You might reload your weapon if you need to, but that's it. You can't res them. So then you just watch your teammate die. And there's nothing anyone can do about it. Cool. Yeah. Cool bug. A new fun and exciting bug that was not in the patch notes. ammo just doesn't drop from players when you kill them.
They fixed this, but it was a bug.
Okay.
Yes.
They fixed it, which is good.
They put out a tweet and they said they fixed it. I didn't
Got
play
it.
since this was last night. They tweeted that. So is it fixed? Nobody knows. I could have just lied again. Yeah.
They absolutely could have, and they've done that lots before. So may or may not have been fixed, but a great way to start ranked Warzone is for ammo to not be in the game. And keep in mind, this bug is in conjunction with munis or utility boxes, providing you a maximum of 60 assault rifle rounds. Keep in mind, most people's magazine holds 100. So you can't even get a full mag.
They've been radio silent on that too. Complete radio silence.
They're bad at developing video games. So yeah,
it's obviously
cool.
a feature. Yeah.
Yeah, it's intended. Which is just completely insane. Same for ammo caches, by the way. The like static ones, you only get 60 rounds. Cool. But I got shotgun ammo. That's awesome. I needed that. Idiots. Here's another. This isn't like a bug necessarily. It probably is, but I just want an answer. There are 100,000 portable radars at every POI on Urzikstan, including in ranked mode. So one question I have is, if I'm on a portable radar, will that be indicated on my miniature map? In the same way that it will be indicated on my miniature map if I'm on a UAV, or at least it's supposed to. Does that actually work all the time? Probably not, honestly.
UAV
but it
one
does
probably
sometimes. It does sometimes, at least. Does it sometimes with portable radars, or never, or what? And then the follow-up, of course, is that intended? So if I do show up, if it does tell me that I'm on a portable radar with the same indication, does it tell me? And if it does, is that intentional? Or if it doesn't, is that intentional? Or is it an oversight? No one knows. I have no idea. So that's cool.
Yeah, too. I mean, I would assume you aren't notified that you're on anything like that, because it's technically also like a radar. It's not like a UAV or an advanced UAV. So I'm really assuming you are not notified. But yeah, because that's one of those things too, where it can make players seem sus, because you're like, how did this person know I was there? But you'll never know if that person had the portable radar down. There's just nothing you can do about it. But
correct. Yep. 100%. 100%. So that's cool. There are myriad other bugs, I'm sure, that I'm forgetting. I'm not going to belabor the point. You guys know what they are. You've encountered them lots, I'm sure. And there's one other special bug that I'm very excited to get into, but we're going to save that.
Wow.
For the tips section. So next is a tweet we got from COD Updates. They said, we're deploying a minor update to add 2 more buy stations to Area 99. Add 24 more squads also while you're at it, idiots. In addition, the following bug fixes are now live. Fixed an issue that was preventing eliminated players from dropping ammo, as Tanner mentioned. Fixed an issue that was causing a mismatch between the SR widget and the post-match after action report in ranked play. This was another bug. Yeah, the UI in the game didn't work. So that was cool, because I would get my kill stolen ruthlessly by Jake, and then I would have 0 SR, even though I've done 3,000 damage, and I've gotten 5 eliminations, which is of course an assist or kill. So then I was real mad, but then the game would end, and in the after action report and the actual SR you were given, it was being appropriately allocated.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, not that big of a deal. If you're actually getting the SR, it's not the end of this is not that bad of a bug. Like, fine, whatever. Yeah. I mean, there is no QA department, because this wouldn't have made it past a QA department. Like, one QA employee, it wouldn't have made it past. And we'll get into a lot more of that later. But as far as the bugs in this game go, not the worst one. But keep in mind, this was never... you were never being deprived of SR. You just weren't being shown in the game.
Yeah.
So if you're like, oh, well, I'm only silver because the game was bugged and the limbs didn't count. No, that's not true. Sorry.
You're hard stuck pubs.
You may be hard stuck pubs. Yeah. And then they said fixed an issue that allowed sniper rifles to down players in a single shot in ranked play. So that was something. If you guys thought snipers were an issue on Area 99 or Pubs or Extend or Rebirth Island, wait until you had gotten a hold of day one of ranked Warzone, because it was lots of snipers and they were good or cheating. So it was even worse. Real crazy. We didn't know if this was intended or not because there was nothing written in the patch notes about it. So this was not a bug, I don't think. Because if it were a bug, I think they would have written in the patch notes in the restrictions section or whatever, where they literally itemized everything that is different in ranked play or barred from ranked play, but not pubs. Sniper rifles having like one-shot downs.
Yeah.
But they didn't write that. There was nothing about snipers in the patch notes in the ranked section, actually.
No, not a
So
single
what
thing.
actually happened is, because none of Activision devs play their own game, they simply it didn't occur to them that they might want to do something with snipers. Now, I'm of the opinion snipers should be able to one-shot down in ranked. As annoying as they are, it takes skill to do that, and snipers are fairly balanced, as annoying as they are. So I don't think this should be the case. I think snipers should be able to down players in one shot. But I know that they have gotten away from that for years now. So
yeah,
this was not a bug. This was an oversight. So
yeah,
there was lots of oversight.
I think snipers have full blown aim assist. Just from a couple of kill cams that I've received, either they're just cheating all the time or everyone has a lot of aim assist, which is interesting because you're getting like Car 98 level aim assist, it appears, on a BO6 sniper rifle, which I think is the other thing. I think that was one of the issues too, is because it's hard to snipe on a controller to hit a moving target. So having aim assist on them makes it a hell of a lot easier. So I think that's like another issue too. But so overall, them being out of the game, I mean, it's probably fine. Yeah, there were a lot of them. It'll be less annoying, I think, overall, just not having one-shot snipers in. Because the big thing was you'd be fighting a team, and then there would be some other team on a roof a little bit further away behind you, third party you, and just like you're focused on another team fighting them, taking shots, and then you'll just get one shot down to some guy, and it's like, really?
Yeah.
Cool, man. So that was the annoying part.
Yeah. Let me.
They do have aim assist, yeah. Yeah, it's who was it? Some streamer had said that. Some good controller player. He was like, yeah, that's the issue with the snipers, is they should not have aim assist. It makes no sense to have aim assist on a one-shot heavy sniper like this. So they might end up changing something like that. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know if they have aim assist or not. I have not used them enough to really tell you. So yeah, I have no idea. Wouldn't be surprised, but anyway. Anyway, that's it for that tweet. So that's kind of everything else out of the way. So now we're pretty much only going to be talking about ranked Warzone from here on out. And we've broken this this portion of the program into two sections. Number one is tips, and number two is first impressions. So we do have some tips for you. I played a fair amount of ranked in the little time it's been out, and I've watched a fair amount of streams as well. So between those two things, I've actually picked up a lot of quick, easy tips that anyone can implement. This is also all going to apply to pubs as well, even pubs like Resurgence. I think everything here will apply to those things, but I came to them or like really started thinking deeply about it once there was SR on the line. So yeah. So starting with the tip section. Yeah, we already went over that. First one is run quick fix for now, which is in perk slot 2. Since you can find tracker as a lootable perk. So quick fix is in perk slot 2. And it competes with Tracker, which is by far the better perk because Tracker is entirely too overpowered. But you can't loot quick fix. It's not in the loot pool of lootable perks, but you can loot tracker, which is in the ground loot pool of lootable perks. So it might be wise to instead run quick fix, which is still quite good, and then just find tracker, and now you have the best of both worlds, which isn't possible if you're running tracker because you can't find quick fix, obviously. And as they said in the patch notes, they fixed quick fix where it was unintentionally not giving you health when you plated, downed, or killed an enemy.
It's good they fixed that, and they did.
Not.
Wow. Yeah.
What did it fucking exactly to the goddamn letter say was going to happen, both on Patreon, our most recent Patreon episode, and also our last public episode? What exactly did I say? I said, I'm calling it now. Here's what's going to happen, because a lot of fucking perks are just bugged in Warzone. A lot of the Warzone perks do not work. They work 20%, 0%, or 80%, but lots of them are not just functioning as fucking intended. What I said was, I'm calling it now before the patch came out and before the patch notes came out. They are going to write in the patch notes that they fixed a perk. And I also said, for example, quick fix. They're going to say, hey, we fixed quick fix. And then actually that's not true. And they didn't fucking quick fix, even though they said they did. Lo and also behold, that is to the fucking T exactly what happened. I mean, you can't make this shit up. They're so... And by the way, this isn't me predicting, oh, there's going to be a new Call of Duty game. Yeah, no shit. This should not be happening so regularly that you can predict it like that. It's sad that I called it. It's really sad because it shouldn't be the case. If I was like, oh, they're not going to fix all the perks in Warzone by Season 1 Reloaded. Okay, fine. Like that, whatever. That wouldn't be that crazy. But for us to know, because they've done it so many fucking times, that they will say they fixed something and then not fix it, it's sad. It's embarrassing that a $1 billion studio has done this so many fucking times that we can now predict they will do it again. They will make the same error, and a pretty bad error too, because for a normie, they read the patch notes and they assume that this went through, once again, a QA department. QA, by the way, for those of you who are just tuning in, stands for quality assurance. These are the people that are supposed to, for example, look at the fucking patch notes, and then before they go live with the patch, be like, hey, let me make sure all of these things are working like we said they're going to. There isn't a quality assurance department.
Yeah.
Because there's no way they say, oh, we fixed quick fix. If there was one QA dev, here's what you do. All right, I'm going to equip quick fix. Bob, load into this Warzone lobby with me real quick with this patch. Shoot me. I'm going to plate. Let me see if it works. And then that's all they would have had to do. And then the guy would have been like, oh, it's not working. Okay, let's fix it real fast since we said we fixed it. But that didn't happen because there is not a quality assurance department. How do you write you fixed something and didn't fix it with a QA department? Those two things are incongruent. It's not possible. And it's embarrassing. And by the way, this is a good perk that I would love to fucking work. I would love it. But I was running it for a while and I hadn't really thought about it. I naively thought, you know what? They wrote it down. It's been broken a long time. It probably works.
And it's been broken numerous times throughout the game's life cycle. 3-4
lots.
times probably.
Yep, lots of times. So I naively was like, you know what? Probably works, whatever. Kind of didn't really think about it. And then I saw Tanner was typing because I was streaming on Twitch. I saw Tanner typing, and just Tanner's presence reminded me of how bad this game is. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to see if quick fix works because I got shot. I had my loadout. I had quick fix equipped. Lo and behold, I insert a plate and my health doesn't move a fucking millimeter.
It was just chilling, yeah.
just chilling. It was just chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool and all. And I hated it. And I was like, oh, okay, classic. Of course it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Fucking terrible devs.
It seemed like it didn't work, and then I went back to like clip it just so I could watch it, and it indeed just did not work at all. You insert a plate, did not start. You got your second. You had both of your plates in because you were running tempered too. So you were fully plated, and your health still hadn't even begun to regen, and you had quick fix, by the way.
Right. Yep. And I did have quick fix.
Yeah.
So the devs
which is a perk
suck.
that's supposed to regen your health when you start plating.
Which is a perk that they said now works. And by the way, there's been no tweets. Oh, we're aware that we didn't actually fix quick fix and we fucking lied to you guys. Oops. Nothing. No comms. No anything. No blog posts. No apologies. We'll never get those. It's just a disaster. I hate them a lot. Like if you're not gonna fix quick fix, you know what? Fucking fine. But don't say you fixed it. Because it's insulting to me when they say they fixed it and then they also say they have a QA department and then it's not fixed. You guys don't have a QA department. And if you do, they should all be not only unemployed, but homeless.
Oh, wow.
I want them to not be housed. Yes, it's true.
Unhoused
you guys
people,
suck a lot at your jobs. I mean, this is the easiest thing to QA check. It's the easiest thing. Like, imagine if you went to a restaurant and you ordered French fries, right?
Yeah.
And then the waiter brings out a potato, just a potato.
Yeah.
It's just nothing, not even a baked potato.
It's not a baked potato, huh?
Not a
That's
mashed potato. It is just fresh out of the garden, a potato. You say, hey man, what the fuck is that? And nowhere between the kitchen and my table did someone think it was kind of weird that there's a fucking raw potato on your tray. Sally, you're not getting a tip.
Yeah.
Make them French fries. There's no QA department here either. I hate them. So
developing
anyway,
games is hard
a lot.
Which is why they have these problems.
Oh, the poor game devs. Oh, the poor billion-dollar studio. They don't give a fuck about you, man. Obviously. They are milking your little teats. Their stock price has never been higher, probably. Their cash bonuses for all the executives you fucking white knight for soar through the roof. Year over year, higher and higher and higher. Bobby Kotick made out like a fucking bandit, raping girls, hiring hitmen, fucking desk crawling with the interns, drinking scotch, flying to Epstein Island, and also ruining lots of the Call of Duty franchise, by the way, in his wake. And then he gets out scot-free. Oh, here's your little severance package of $800 quadrillion. Got it. They don't need defense, and you're not going to hurt their feelings. And if you are going to hurt their feelings, they fucking deserve it. Fuck their feelings. I want them to feel bad, so they fix the game. Or don't lie to me. At least don't lie to me.
Yeah.
At least don't fucking lie to me. God, it drives me insane. Just, yeah, again, if you're not going to fix it, fine. Don't say you fixed it.
Yeah.
It really bothers me. Anyway. So I will say, now, since this is the tips section after all, if they ever get around to fixing quick fix.
Season 2.
I know they're busy working on Black Cell Vault bundles or whatever the fuck, which is what they really care about. And notice the store has never once been bugged in 6 years. If they ever do fix quick fix, but the perk pool stays the same, then I do think this will be a viable strategy. And I do think it will be something probably worth doing. Because again, as good as Tracker is, Quick Fix is also quite good. Not quite as good as Tracker. But you'd rather probably have the opportunity to get both rather than the guarantee of just the superior one. But I would have to play a lot more and see how often I'm looting looting Tracker prior to wanting it, basically. And then how many games I'm not looting Tracker. Because if Tracker is technically lootable, but I find it in 1 out of 3 games, well then yeah, it's probably not worth running Quick Fix after all. So this is more like a general thing. It applies in this specific scenario, but by the time Quick Fix is fixed, it's very like I'm not even trying to be funny here. It's very likely there will be new ground loot perks now. So it might not be this particular equation, but like maybe tempered becomes a ground loot perk. Well, then you might not want to run tempered. You might want to run gung ho so you can reload while sprinting, which is also very good, or resolute where you get that speed bonus.
Yeah.
Since you can loot tempered. So just something to keep in mind there. And I hate lootable perks.
Yeah, it's just something annoying to deal with.
Yep.
Don't want to have to
Super
do that.
annoying.
I just want to choose the perks I want and not have to worry about the other ones.
Yeah. Oh, and I don't know what perks I have equipped, by the way. That's another thing. So you'll see what 3 perks are in your perk package on your UI. But if I find tracker, I don't know. Hopefully I remember.
I guess you can see, you just have to open up your backpack. You open up your inventory and the little icons are listed at the bottom.
Okay. That's something, but put it where the other perks are.
It should just always be at the bottom, in my opinion. Just like zombies, basically. Make it not maybe quite as obvious as zombies, because like the zombies ones are bigger and more colorful. Just put some icon on my screen where I don't have to press another button to see what's there, so it's just always there.
Yeah. I mean, they have
like
the UI element already.
Yeah.
Like where your perk package is, that's perfect. Like, okay, I see that I have loadout. I see that I remembered to pick up my little toolbox where my perks are, and I see what 3 perks I have. Right under those 3, put all the ones you've looted. So if I found a shrouded, put the little icon there under it. It's like not taking up any more real estate, basically. And now I don't have to open my backpack. It's dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. So, but yeah, if it's viewable in the backpack, that's something, I guess. But it's not enough. But the thing is, like the solution I just proposed, that's because I've played the game once. So I realized that's probably a good idea. Activision devs don't play their own games, so they don't realize that it's pretty stupid that I have to open my backpack to see what other perks I have when you show me just some of the perks without having to open my backpack. Idiots.
Yeah.
Hate them.
I can tell.
Not good at developing video games. Yeah. It just bothers me, man. I just hate being lied to. It's so fucking annoying. Anyways, whatever. Here's another tip. This is a good one, actually. So you should have, if you're like trying hard, so this is particularly true for ranked play, but I think it, again, applies to every Warzone mode, where you can get a loadout anyway. You should make a loadout that has the battle ready wildcard for the following scenario. Okay. Say you're playing ranked, and you and your teammates hit your whatever. You buy your first loadout, you all get it, and then you buy your secondary gun. Or you don't buy your secondary gun, it doesn't really matter, but you all have loadout, whatever, and then it comes to third circle, and one of your teammates dies. You buy him back. He can't get his loadout, so you buy him a loadout, which you were going to do anyway. But you already have your loadout. Well, don't let a good loadout go to waste. Have a loadout for this scenario that has battle ready on it so that you can hit that loadout, get the battle ready loadout, and then just pick up your gunfighter gun off the ground. Make sure it has the same perks and all that you want. And then this way you get a free UAV and utility box. It's fantastic. This is also really helpful, even if no one dies, but you're able to hit your second free loadout, even though everyone already has their loadout. Well, instead of just ignoring it, like we've been doing for quite a while, now you might as well just hit it, get a free UAV and utility box. Really clutch. Free UAV, always good, obviously. A UAV is always good, obviously. And then a utility box is also quite good because plates are quite common. I don't have an issue with the number of plates I'm finding in ranked. But ammo, I'm having lots of problems with. This won't be enough ammo, but it'll be 60 more. It's better than nothing. So this is a great idea to do for those scenarios. Basically, the scenario where you come upon another loadout crate, even though you already have yours. You might as well hit it and get a free UAV. Very clutch. There's also another wild card called Bandolier, which gives you a munition satchel. This is the satchel that increases your ammo capacity and your equipment capacity from 2 to 4. I have set up a Bandolier class as well. I have trouble thinking of a scenario where I would ever want this over a UAV and utility box, though. I think it's possible. Maybe once we get back to a smoke meta and you have to make a really long cross and someone has a muni so that you can actually fill up to 4 smokes at that time.
Yeah.
I think it'd be good to have in the back pocket. You don't really lose anything for setting this up. All I'm saying is set it up and you might literally never use it because it's going to be a pretty small circumstance where this is better than a UAV and a utility. But it's possible there is one. You might as well have it there. But these are both quite good ideas. And I've made use of it myself and it's been quite nice. And I've seen a number of other streamers doing this. I got the idea from Metaphor, actually. But yeah.
Yeah, it's smart. I hadn't thought about that
doing.
at all. The Bandolier one seems like a waste.
Yeah,
I don't see a scenario where you would pick that over Battle Ready. So I was thinking like, maybe if you have a satchel or something and it's late game and you hit it and then I don't know I don't know how that even works. Does it drop a satchel on the ground then? I'm not sure how that would work.
If you already have a muni satchel, that's a good question.
So I was like, because then you can give it to your teammate or something, but then at the same time, I'd rather just have a UAV at that point. Always, actually.
And give them a util. Yeah, pretty much always. That's what I'm thinking. Because one thing was, like when you pick up an armor satchel, you get the satchel, so you get the increased plate capacity, carrying capacity, but you also get 3 plates on top of it. So I was like, okay, if Muni Satchel works in the same way, where when you pick it up, you get the increased equipment capacity, but on top of it, you get some ammo and some equipment, then I could maybe see a scenario where this is better. But it does not seem to work that way. Is this intended or not? No fucking clue. Neither do the devs. But since it doesn't work that way, I would rarely do this, but good to know. On that topic as well, you should have a loadout that runs scavenger. And this works in exactly the same way as having your second loadout in Verdansk having the fully loaded attachment. When you have scavenger, or when you pick up a scavenger loadout, you get full ammo on your primary and secondary. More than full ammo, actually. It's instead of 210 rounds in reserve, it's 300 rounds in reserve. Bug or feature? Once again, no fucking idea. And neither do the devs. But you will have 100 rounds in your Extreme M4, and then also, because you should be running that attachment, and then also 300 reserve, not 210. I don't know why. And your capacity is not 300, by the way, with Scavenger. Your capacity is 210. So it just gives you over capacity ammo. Okay, that's intended for sure. It may or may not be, actually. I have no fucking idea. And even more interestingly, though less relevant, is the same is true for your SMG. You'll have 300 SMG spare rounds, even though the cap on that is 150.
Classic.
Got it. Classic. Not that that really matters. I've never run out of SMG ammo in this game, but AR ammo, I'm running out of a lot. So the downside of this, if you hit this like late game, once you already have your loadout, is that you will lose your blue perk. So you would lose like Survivor. But if you have 0 AR rounds, I'd rather have lots of AR rounds and no longer have Survivor anymore, for sure, obviously. So there will be scenarios where you would want this and be like, oh, second free loadie just dropped. We have no ammo. We have no money. Or we can't get to a buy station to buy like 8 munis to get half of a mag filled. So I'm just going to get Scavenger here. It's going to suck not having Survivor for the rest of the game, but at least I can shoot other players with my gun. which is important for a first-person shooter video game. So this is another good idea to have in the back pocket in exactly the same way as having a battle-ready loadout.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's cool. And then on the topic of perks as well, I would consider running scavenger, period. It gives you that max ammo, but like as your actual blue perk, because you get like a plate, you get more ammo, and you get $1,500 cash from every person you kill. So this was a question Tanner and I had, is does every player drop a little pack, a little scav pack, little scav pouch for you to loot? Or is it just people you kill? You have to kill them, meaning you have to down them, and then whoever fulls them, the pack will be there. But you have to be the one that gets the down for the pack to drop. But this does actually work as intended, from what I've noticed. And I really started paying attention after Quick Fix stopped fucking working. Or I said stopped as if it ever did. Continued to not work. This money adds up a lot too. It's really noticeable, and you can buy lots. You can buy lots. And also, you might be thinking like, well, that sounds cool and all, but Survivor's way too good for me to give up. If you're running stims, which you should be, you're really not going to miss Survivor as much as you think you will. And especially because if you are running scavenger, you refill a stim every time you run over a body. So you're going to have even more stims than if you were running Survivor. And if you have stims, it makes Survivor a lot less attractive anyway. So I'm not saying this is better than Survivor, but I'm saying it might be. And it's worth trying out or looking into. It was especially clutch when the ammo wasn't dropping from enemy players. It was almost a must run. But now that ammo is dropping from other players, you may or may not want to do it. But getting that refill of your lethal and your stims and your and getting that money, that's a lot of money. You can like pop advanced UAVs and stuff pretty reliably if like even one of you is running scav. So it's pretty good.
Well, and then once Quick Fix is fixed eventually by like season 2 Reloaded or season 3 or something, Survivor is also just less attractive because of that. You know, and that things will be shaken up a lot. Dexterity will probably be really good at some point too. Again, it'll take them months, but Dexterity will probably be a good perk at some point. But I think Scav, well, as of right this second, I think Survivor is definitely the best blue perk. But once Quick Fix works 100% of the time, Scav actually makes a lot of sense. Because the perks just suck in this game. They're not good.
Yeah.
And with the ammo issue right now, it's important to run Scavenger and then get that extra money and everything too.
And with how much you can wallbang, you're going to be like wasting a lot of ammo. You're going to be like, or you should be. Yeah. And that does lead to stims. So first of all, once again, Tracker is perk 2. It's a red perk. And it will... I now know exactly how it works. Is this intended or not? Once again, no one knows. Not me, not a single dev. It has no cooldown like Combat Scout used to. And it has no... basically no counter. Or literally no counter, actually. You can't counter Tracker. If you shoot someone, they will be live pinged. Lots. And for a long fucking time. And with how much you can wallbang with BO6 weapons, which is what you're forced to use in ranked anyway, it seems insane to not be running Tracker unless, again, you're doing the loot it strat and finding it reliably, but it needs to be high priority loot for you. Run Tracker, you can wallbang everything, try more. I have been shocked, despite how good everyone is in ranked, I am not getting wallbanged nearly as much as I should be. I'm pleased by this. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy not many people have figured this out. But for some reason, people are just not trying to bang as much as they should. And they're certainly not doing it as much as we are. We are wall banging fucking everything, and you will be. Try wall banging anything. I'm not kidding. I don't think there's anything you can't wall bang right now in Warzone. So that's another bug, probably. Oh yeah, bushes.
Bushes that's the only thing you can't wall bang. Can't drive over, or can't drive through them.
Your car will explode, literally.
Can't shoot through them. But hey, if you see cinder block that's as thick as it would be for a nuclear bunker, you can probably shoot through that. Just don't try to shoot through a bush.
Yeah, that's actually true. Yeah. So you really need to be using tracker, whether you run it or loot it.
I think that's what it is. I think if people aren't running tracker, they're just not banging as often. But if you're running tracker, it's just keep following it and shooting it. You'll be able to shoot through a lot.
Yeah, that could be it. So I don't know. If you're not using tracker, you're insane. It's really good. You will get a lot of kills that you frankly should not get. But people are going to do it to you too. So you might as well take advantage of it. And if it's in a ranked mode and it's the best perk, run it. Duh. However, with that said, with that in mind, I think stims are just better than smokes right now. Yeah. Because a lot of people are running tracker. Even if they're not, a lot of people are looting it. So I tried smokes for a while, but I've died in them a lot because tracker is entirely too good. So
yeah,
it's like
it almost doesn't matter that you have a smoke popped.
Exactly. Like it doesn't really do anything. All it does is make people lose aim assist, which can be relevant and can make you survive even if they do have tracker. But most of the time it won't. And you'll just die anyway. Because it's going to be 3 people shooting at you and you're live pinged. 3 people without aim assist in ranked especially, they're probably going to get you. So for that reason, and for the reason that stims are quite good on, regardless of that, I think you should just be running stims still. Until they nerf tracker, I don't think there's an argument for not running stims.
Yeah.
They're insanely strong. There's a clip actually in our Discord in the Cat Piss Deaths channel from friend of the pod, I'm Bay TTV, whom you should watch on Twitch, by the way. It's funny. He's good. And also his teammate rages a lot. It's really funny. Rightfully rages, by the way, because the game sucks and there are a lot of cheaters, but he gets fucking pissed and it's funny. So you could watch for that reason or because he's quite good. But anyway, he posted a clip in the Cat Piss Deaths channel and he is shooting at this guy from, I don't know, 30, 40 meters away with the Extreme M4, the meta gun. He has a 100 round mag. He shoots, I think it was 56 bullets. He lands probably 35 of them. And the guy doesn't die because he stimmed.
Yeah.
And then, of course, he eventually gets third party slammed because the game sucks. And he loses his fucking mind. Because in what universe should I be able to land 30 bullets with an AR at 30 meters and not kill a guy? This is insane.
Yeah.
So there's like case and point. The argument for stims is that clip. That guy got Juggernaut Giga Pro, like super crazy. So
yeah, you just stim through anything.
You really do. Yeah.
Yeah. So smokes aren't good. Yeah, stims are probably going to need a nerf because it still feels like a lot of gunfights you get in, people won't stim. I don't know if they're just out of them or if a lot of people aren't running them for some reason, but it makes the long range time to kill feel entirely too slow a lot of times. You will, especially with the XM4 with the high fire rate, because the gun takes like something like 12 shots to kill. So it feels really, really bad, especially when people start to stim. It feels horrendous, actually. So they might need to tweak some things with stims, or honestly, I think this game would fit better with a faster time to kill at long range than we have now. The movement's too good. The stim speed boost is too fast. It's too hard to shoot people at long range now, and the guns have more recoil than they did last year too. The health total feels bad at long range, in my opinion. It's too hard to kill people at 80 plus meters. That are even running in an open field.
Recoil side.
Yeah, I don't know.
But you could. But
I prefer
also
faster time to kill, like by 100 milliseconds or so. That's what I would want.
Yeah.
I think this combo of movement and everything
maybe.
just doesn't feel super great.
Yeah. Yeah. I could
Up
see
up
that.
close,
I
it's
don't have
fine.
an
It's just
opinion.
like long range full auto gunfights.
Okay. Yeah.
Because people have time to stim when you're missing shots and everything, and then that happens, yeah, where you hit them a million times. And the stim icon just doesn't work half the time, I guess. Because I don't think, did he get a stim icon in that clip?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm sure it doesn't work all the time. Yeah, that would be woefully.
Because there are times
unsurprising.
where it's like, I don't notice a hit marker, and I'm like, or I don't notice a stim icon, and it's like, I swear I got 20 hit markers on that guy, so I don't know what's happening.
Yeah. 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 I don't know, man. But anyway, yeah.
It might be because the game sucks, actually, now that I think about it.
And they're not good at developing video games. Yeah. So the stims, yeah,
Stims are definitely better.
Stims are definitely better. Yeah. I think it's mainly because of how good Tracker is. Oh, and by the way, to finish how it works, yeah, it has no limitations, no counter. You're pinged forever. You will not be able to live ping multiple people with Tracker at the same time. That's the only like somewhat not perfect thing about it. So if you are wall banging a door and there's 3 guys in there, Tracker's going to live ping the first guy you hit, and then if you hit a different guy, it's going to switch the ping to that guy. And then if you hit another guy or the first guy again, it'll ping him again. So there's no cooldown, but it won't let multiple enemies be pinged. This is not a large limitation at all. It doesn't make the perk bad. It's still really good, but that's how it works, just in case you were curious. It needs to be nerfed a lot. It's just really disgusting. So use it. And yeah, use stims. I could probably see an argument for stims being nerfed as well. I don't know exactly how stims work in the scenario where you are taking damage right after you stim. Because we've had games where the stim is always going to heal whatever, 100 health. So whether you're taking damage or not, it's going to heal 100 HP, period. And then we've also had games where as soon as you take damage, the healing stops from the stim. From that clip in the Cat Piss Deaths channel, it really seems like stims just heal through damage.
It feels like
now.
It heals through damage. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
It can't be interrupted. So that's probably a little too good. Maybe if you take damage, it caps it at like half of what it would have otherwise healed. Because if it instantly stops it, that makes them kind of shit. Not shit, actually, but a lot worse. But if they fully heal through damage, then you can eat fucking 33 hit markers from an AR and not die. That's crazy.
Yeah,
like that shouldn't be possible.
That should not be happening.
Yeah, exactly. So do something. So anyway, yeah, that's another tip for you. Let's see. Hello, stupid, dumb idiot. Today, I'm pleased to announce that for the month of December, Patreon memberships are 50% off any tier. Gold for $2.50 for an entire month, ad-free episodes, early access episodes, and 3 Call of Duty bonus episodes every single month. You can get a higher tier, also 50% off, but gold's probably the most bang for your buck, or if you're new, it's probably where you'd want to start. But the Q&A episodes for platinum patrons and behind the scenes episodes and Damascus hangouts for Damascus patrons, of course, also go bonkers. And you could get into all of that action for 50% off in the month of December. You can also gift Patreon memberships. Does that stack with the discounts? I have no idea, but if you wanted to gift your terrible, terrible teammates a Patreon membership so they can get better, that's a swell idea, and you might be able to do it for 50% off, but you can certainly do it for 50% off for your goddamn self so that you get those bonus eps and you don't have to hear ads like this one ever again. Let's get back to the show. The best assault rifle in ranked and unranked actually is the Extreme M4, and it is not close. There was a fairly popular video of ours where I said there is a good argument to be made for not using BO6 ARs because the SVA, for example, has a comparable or better time to kill than the XM4 at every range and is easier to control because it has aftermarket parts like the Quartermaster suppressor, and it reloads faster. And the only downside of it is that it can't pen everything. I am now, after I said that, the buffer weight stock came out, which is a stock attachment for the Extreme M4 and the Extreme MG, which is a stock that gives you a lot of recoil control, which no other BO6 gun, has. Once that came out, SVA is just not better than an XM4. Nothing is. There's no BO6 gun or, MW3 gun that's better than it, period. Because the XM4 now is still not as easy to use as the SVA, but it's close enough. It's pretty fucking easy to use. And also, it has a 100 round mag, which I was sleeping on, that doesn't harm your ADS and handling too badly for like your long range option. And for being 100 rounds, it reloads really quickly. It is the fastest reloading 100 round magazine that's ever been in a Call of Duty game, probably. I'm not kidding. So the bullets per second of reload you can use is the highest on the XM4 100 round mag of any gun in the game right now. Because there are LMGs that are 200 rounds. Sure, you can shoot an extra 100 before you have to reload. But the XM4 is reloaded 4 times its 100 round mag by the time you've reloaded your 200 round mag once and started shooting. So the value of like rounds spent per second reloaded is the highest on the XM4. For a 100 round mag, it reloads really fast. For an assault rifle, it doesn't reload particularly quickly. But for how many bullets you get to spend before you have to reload, the value is insane. So that's something I was sleeping on. And then I was also just undervaluing how good having penetrated the bullet pen of BO6 guns is, especially paired with tracker. It's just too good to pass up. So even if the buffer weight stock wasn't in the game, I honestly now would be of the opinion
100%.
The XM4 is just better.
You also can't use those in ranked either. So,
and that's also true. Yeah, that's also true.
Yeah,
but it's not close. This is easily the best gun.
The 100 round drum, the penalties on it, it's not that much worse than the 60. It's worth getting an extra 40 rounds without having to reload. Because in quads, again, in this game, long range, 60 rounds is not a lot at all, even to shoot people crossing out in the open. You're going to miss a lot more shots than you did last year. And again, that high fire rate, you need to hit a lot of shots. So like when you need to hit somebody at long range 12 times, that's sprinting across the open with a 60 round mag. I mean, that could take almost your whole mag at times. So to have 100 and not have to worry about reloading is huge. But because when I first put it on, because you guys first started talking about it, I'm like, it seems insane to use a 100 round drum. I went in the firing range and I tested ADS movement speed. I'm like, it's terrible. How do you guys use this? There's no ADS movement speed. I put the 60 on, then I realized, oh, BO6 ARs have really bad ADS movement speed. I did not realize that. Yep. Again, another thing, we had Omni movement and all these crazy things, but you are at a slow walk when you're ADSing. It doesn't make any sense. Another thing that doesn't fit the movement in this game they designed. Make it make sense. So it's really bad, of course. So the 100 round drum, honestly, not that noticeable. So just run it. It's worth it. And everybody runs it now. Every single ranked player I've been watching that's really good at the game, they all run the 100 round drum.
Yeah.
So definitely do it.
Yeah, I put Jake onto that actually. And then all the streamers copied me.
Yeah.
So yeah, really easily. Yeah, it's just the best gun. As far as secondaries go, it's a little more open. Like it's not close. The XM4 is much, much, much better than everything else. But when it comes to secondaries, that's not exactly the case, even in ranked. So the Jackal's the most popular. It has, I think, the fastest time to kill. But it's not by too much. I'm actually going to pull up the stats for you guys right now here, if the website will work. Here we go. Okay. And then let me remove those. Okay. So, yeah. So like with combination shots, let's see. The Jackal kills the fastest up to 11 meters with no attachments. And then it kills slightly slower than some other contenders. And then once again at 13 meters up to 21, it kills faster slightly than its competitors, and then it drops off, and then it doesn't matter after that anyway, really, for an SMG. So at most damage ranges, it's killing that are relevant for subs. It's the fastest killing. This is assuming no attachments or anything. So that is why it is the most popular choice. This is looking at combination shots. And with Omni movement, I think that's actually relevant even for SMGs and aim assist, because you will be hitting legs and arms in this game a lot, actually. So combo actually is now, because I used to say for SMGs, when you're looking at TTK charts, you really should just be looking at the chest TTK with SMGs, because in Warzone, in Warzone before the integration in MW3, if you're in an SMG versus SMG gunfight, everyone's only hitting chest. The aim assist was too strong. There was no Omni movement. You were always hitting chest. So just look at that as the time to kill chart. That's the only relevant multiplier. Now that is not true anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah. So with that said, yeah, Jackal kills the fastest by an amount. I mean, 50 something milliseconds faster than the slowest competitor in its first damage range. So pretty good, but not like nearly, or not like super, super dominant. So the other ones, the second most common is the PP919. This is way slower fire rate, so it's a little less forgiving, but you don't have to run a mag on it if you don't want to, because its base mag is 64 rounds. And because it's slow fire rate, that 64 rounds goes a long way.
Yeah.
You can get actually 2 squad wipes before you need to reload if you're good. Like, you can just keep shooting, which is quite convenient, because the Jackal, that is not at all true for. You have to reload it.
Yeah.
And you have to run an extended mag attachment on it, which you don't have to do on the PP. But the downside of the PP is it's, again, less forgiving, slower fire rate, and slightly slower time to kill. So that's the other thing.
You can run irons with a PP too, in my opinion, at least. So
yes,
that's
can.
another really good part of it too. So you don't have to put a mag on it, and you don't have to put an optic. Makes it quite a bit easier. Although most people don't run an optic on the Jackal anyways.
Yeah, that's why I didn't mention it, because yeah, that's true. I hate the Jackal irons, so even if you don't run an optic on the Jackal,
they're really bad.
Yeah, they're really bad. Even if you don't run an optic on it, you're still getting an advantage of way better irons with the PP919. Yeah. And then another option I've seen one person using, but he's really good, so it's worth mentioning, is the C9. Now, this is metaphor. Keep in mind, he's on keyboard and mouse. That's probably a big part of the reason why he's running this gun. But there could be other people using it. But looking at its time to kill, it's good. I mean, it's faster than the PP, but slower than the Jackal. It's right in the middle. So the time to kill is extremely comparable to the other two most meta guns. And it has way better irons than the Jackal as well. I don't know how their fire rates compare. I can actually look, but they're pretty comparable, I think.
The C9 you're talking about?
Yeah, so the C9 has faster fire rate, so it's more forgiving than the Jackal. Yeah, 732 versus 682.
Yeah.
So that's another good thing about it. Yeah.
One gun I've been seeing quite a bit of now is the compact, actually. Seems like a lot of people are starting to run that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Huskers was running it. I saw some people talking about it on Twitter. I saw a TikTok or two about it. I haven't tried it personally, but from what I've used in a multiplayer, it doesn't seem like it would be a good Warzone option, because it seems like there was a lot of recoil, but I don't know. When I saw Huskers using it, it did not look like it had a lot of recoil at all. And he was torching kids from pretty far away.
Too fast.
That's definitely another thing. Yeah, you go through that mag really fast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I don't know. Seems to be an option.
But yeah.
Yeah, the thing with the PP is most people are running the Jackal, so if you run into somebody up close with a PP, you lose that gunfight every time. Because you're both on a controller, you're both going to hit the same amount of shots. He's just killing you faster because he has a faster killing gun. But, you know, once you get past like 12, 13, 14 meters or so, then the PP feels a lot better. It feels like one of those It's a mid-range SMG. It feels like a sniper support SMG, essentially. That's what it is to me.
I agree,
It's
totally.
it's not the close range one that's gonna melt everybody though.
I've had that exact scenario happen where it's a heads up gunfight. I'm on controller now, so I miss no bullets. Neither does he, but I'm using a PP, he's using a Jackal, and I'm dead. And I'm like, God damn it, dude, I need to just run to the Jackal. But then there will be other times where it's like sub versus sub. We're at like 20 meters now, so we're both missing shots. And he has to disengage because he's dry. He's out. He's out of rounds. And my PP still got 45 left. So I'm like,
got some left in that PP,
So then you just start chasing and just keep barking with that thing. And you win because you were using the PP instead of the compact. Or excuse me, the Jackal. So it really is just like pros and cons. And also personal preference and play style. The PP for me is just, it's got the cozy fire rate. I don't know what exactly the perfect fire rate is for a submachine gun, but if someone can go look at the fire rate of the Blixen from Cold War, that's the perfect fire rate. PP is close to that. It's just a cozy fire rate.
Yeah.
Where it's not so slow like the Tonto, where it's just too unforgiving.
Yeah,
but it's
correct.
Slow enough to where it's like, man, this mag is just going to last forever. I'm doing lots of damage per round. The recoil is extremely easy to control. It's never like getting ahead of me. It just feels good to use it. It's just a satisfying, gun to use. You just chunk kids.
Like man, the Jackal's
it.
Not satisfying. The C9 isn't satisfying. Most of the SMGs actually don't feel satisfying in this game to me whatsoever. But the PP feels like one that,
yeah,
it just feels a lot better in my opinion. But yeah, you're gonna get torched up close.
Yeah, that's the thing. So yeah, but yeah. Anyway, some things to consider. Yeah, I guess the compact now after the buff. I will be trying the compact. I don't think I'll like it, but I am on controller, so if I don't miss, it's probably a lot. But we'll see. So anyway, sniping was insane, but they removed the ability to one shot down with them at any range. So does that mean snipers are done for? Certainly not necessarily. Maybe, but not necessarily. Like Tanner was talking about earlier, with how well you can move, omni movement, unlimited tack sprint being possible, and stims being as good as they are, even if you are hitting a lot of shots, it's going to take a long time and be virtually impossible at some point, at some distance, for you to actually be getting meaningful damage very far away with anything full auto. And if sniping can only do 299 at any range, or at a very far range, that still could be relevant. Maybe not, but maybe. This is something we're going to have to kind of wait and see on, but I wouldn't totally write off sniping yet when it comes to the bolties that you can use right now. I think this is going to be an even more relevant question when the new sniper drops, the AMR 4 or whatever.
Oh, the semi one, yep. Yeah.
Because it is going to be a hard-hitting, slow-handling, long damage range, semi-auto sniper rifle that's from BO6, and you will be able to use it in ranked, and it will have a range where you can do 299 damage with a headshot, and probably lots of damage even to like the torso. When have we ever seen something like that be good in ranked big map before? You guys might not remember because it's been a long fucking time, but actually, literally the last iteration of big map ranked Warzone we had the Signal, which is exactly what this AMR sounds like it's going to be. Really slow handling, really dog shit bulky feeling, but semi-auto sniper rifle that can't one-shot headshot down. That is exactly what the Signal was, and it was really good and very viable, and lots of people used it in ranked big map during Warzone 2.
Yeah.
I could absolutely see that being true when this new semi-auto sniper comes out, because right now we don't have any, but this will be the first one.
Yeah. I wonder. I wonder how much damage they're doing in rank though too, because after they
That's true.
removed one-shot snipers, I saw Breadman was still using one, so I don't know if he was just testing it or if he actually thought it seemed good still or what. But
yeah, I don't know. I would assume well, I'm not going to assume anything. They don't even know how much they do. But how it did work was they just clamped it at $299. So like if I
was it $299?
Headshotted you with a Cat AMR at 1 meter, you would get 299 HP. You'd be literally one bullet. Yeah. That's how it used to work. I'm 100% sure at some time it worked that way. Yeah. Okay. Probably not always, but there was a point where that's exactly how it worked. Yeah. And that made them still quite good because obviously you're playing trios. So if my teammates have 100 rounds in their XM4s and I hit a headshot or even like a chest shot, a headshot, it's like, okay, literally touch them and they're dead. Or if I hit like upper chest or neck maybe, and I do whatever 200 instead, that's a lot. I need my teammates now to land a lot fewer shots to actually get that down, and that would be meaningful. Yeah. So definitely keep your eyes on that. And if you are a sniper enjoyer, don't lose hope yet, because that I think is going to be quite good actually. Yeah. And then last little sort of tip, sort of first impression, which is why I put it at the end. You cannot buy gulag tokens or balloons at buy stations in ranked. You can buy both of these things in pubs. There are other things you can't buy in ranked that you can buy in pubs. I don't remember what any of the other ones are, but those are two that I've made note of because those were two that we would buy a lot. The tip here is to just know that, because if you're in the habit of going to buys after you like win your gulag to buy a quick token, or going out of your way to a buy so that you can buy a balloon to rotate in faster, now you know not to do that because you can't. Don't waste your time if that's the only reason that you're going to the buy. And now that kind of leads into first impressions. And we'll start with this one, which is I am fine with both of these things being unavailable at buy stations, honestly. I love hitting a buy to buy a balloon so that I can move wherever I want, basically unimpeded. However, because I have a brain and I understand that there are other rational actors in the universe, I would not like it lots if everyone else could also do that. And I get ballooned on a lot more than I already do, which is a fair amount. So it's probably a good thing that you can't buy a balloon at a buy station. I think it's also obviously a good thing you can't buy a gulag token at a buy station, though you can still find them as loot. Here's another tip, actually, before I forget. The high value loot zones are still in the game and they're still all the same fucking ones. So Market is still a high value loot zone. You will find a ton of gulag tokens and orange boxes and money at Market. Same with Trump Tower, the biggest tower in downtown or on the map, actually. That's also still a very high value loot zone. So there's another tip. You can continue going to those.
How do they revert everything but the high value loot zone somehow?
Super good question. Yeah.
We got all the bugs back from season 1, but yet the high value loot zones that came in season 4, probably, maybe 3, are still in the game. And they weren't beforehand. I don't know how that works at all.
Yeah, I actually had the same thought.
But ultimately, it's for ranked play, it's certainly better to not have gulag tokens and balloons in the mix. Because balloons, it gives you too easy of a rotation. And with the backpack system gone now too, it makes it more difficult because now you have to choose. You're like, well, shoot, I always run out of ammo. So do I want to carry like a muni? Do I want to carry a utility box? Do I want to carry a portable redeploy drone, or do I want to carry a balloon? And you only have one option now. So it just fits better for ranked play, for making it more difficult, making it harder to rotate. And yeah, it sucks for you at times. Definitely, there will be a lot of times you'll be like, I wish I had a balloon. But yeah, just think, if you're on the edge of zone now, and you're trying to hold some team, and if they could just hit a buy and then balloon over you or just balloon somewhere else in ranked play, that sucks. That doesn't seem fair at all, just because they can go to a buy station and spend less than $3,000 and just balloon way out of there and then basically hold you. Not a good feature to have in a ranked play, so it's good that they're gone. And I'm actually, frankly, surprised they even thought about removing them.
I didn't think about that, but that is kind of surprising because it's a good thing to do.
Yeah.
Especially considering that thing that happened to us when in Old Town, where we were all on 3 separate roofs but fairly close to each other, and then someone said, "Oh, they're ballooning on us," and then all of a sudden, I see 3 separate guys from the same team land on 3 other separate roofs, all above us somehow, also on the nastiest head glitches, also not missing a single bullet. It was Delta Force. Just instantly zapped our shit hard because they ballooned on us.
Yeah.
And I would love for that to not happen to me ever again. And if you could buy balloons, every sweaty team would be doing that to everyone always. Like that team was really, really good. And if they don't have a balloon, they probably still kill us at some point, honestly. But not that easily and not that quickly, and we would have had a chance. But getting ballooned on by really good players like that, no chance. There was nothing I could do. Even if I was walling, I wouldn't have been able to do anything else. Actually, because they were 300 meters away 1 second ago, and now they're on top of me on a head glitch, shooting me. I'm dead. Like, there's nothing I can do, even if I'm cheating. So that would not be fun, because in ranked, there are a lot of good players and a lot of good teams, and they would be doing that. And it would almost be, instead of playing a BR, it would be like a chess match of who gets the balloon on the other person first. Actually, like, I'm not kidding. Like, with really good teams, whoever balloons on the other team is going to win. So, I'm glad they're not viable. But anyway, moving on from that, some other first impressions. The visibility is a good one to start with. They made it perfect, actually.
Yeah, they did. It's really, really good now. They didn't change anything with it, unfortunately. One of the biggest issues right now is the visibility on Earth's extant, and they didn't fix it. And I don't know if they will, because I don't know how long it took them last year to fix it exactly. And we're getting Verdansk at some point, March, April, maybe late February, who knows, actually. So this worries me, because I can't handle playing the game for 2 or 3 months with this visibility. It's every time I play, I notice it more and more. It feels really, really bad. There are definitely instances where it's okay, where somebody else is in the open running against something. You can see them, you can track them fine. But when it comes to anything to do with a building, whether I'm pushing a building and fighting inside of it, and the other guy's also inside of it, or he's inside of a window and I'm trying to look through the window, really, really bad. The whole map has like a film grain haze layer over it everywhere. It just, we haven't had this issue in basically 2 years. Like even Warzone 2, horrific video game, but I don't remember there being a lot of visibility problems other than having a dark character not show up in dark corners, basically. That was it. Everything else seemed fine on Moz. And then again, I haven't really complained about visibility or thought about it in Warzone in a long time, because has not been an issue. It felt like it's really bad again. Just all of it. I don't understand what it is. Like, you have trouble seeing people that are in front of you in this game, and I don't get it. And then combined with all the visual recoil and stuff that's once again back and as strong as ever, it makes it even worse when you're shooting people and also trying to look for them. Another thing that really pisses me off too, how come on all the scopes, like the 3 times, why is the view when I look through the optic 5 shades darker? Just don't even change the color. Just leave it the same. So then when you start looking at areas that were kind of dark through an optic, it's even darker, because that ruins your vision. I hate it. Why do you fucking do these things? So visibility is really, really bad. They need to fix the haze. They need to make it sharper. They need to fix the inside of all the buildings. But are they going to do all this work when the map's not going to be around soon? I don't know. And that sucks.
Yeah. Some things they'll fix before Verdansk. Even map issues they'll fix before Verdansk. This is not one of them because it's too hard. Yeah, it's like too much effort when they're like, meh. Verdansk is coming soon, whatever. I agree with you. Visibility is not the worst it's ever been in Warzone by a mile.
No, it was worse in Verdansk.
Yeah, for sure. But it is not good. It's still like poor. The visibility is poor. I said this a couple episodes ago, but basically that like I loaded into Rebirth and realized how clear it is compared to Urzikstan. And then I was playing a couple games with Lou, friend of the pod, aka Anesthesia Boy, aka Anesthesia Bitch. Shout out Lou. Very good player. And we were playing Urzikstan for a while, and then everyone got off, and I was like, I'll do one more. Let's just hit a lick on Rebirth, and then I'm done. So then we loaded into Rebirth, and the first thing he says, he's like, dude, what? I see what you were talking about now. This is so clear. This is crazy. And his mind was blown. Like, I lied. I was like, yeah, dude, I know. That's how I said it. Like, Rebirth Island, outside, to be clear, because the visibility is probably worse on Rebirth because there are a lot of buildings, and it sucks. The visibility sucks in a building.
Yeah, it's
but
not
outside,
good.
It's extremely clear in the pregame lobby, and then sometimes in the actual match, unless there's some weather event. Got it. Just do that to Urzikstan, whatever it is. I don't know what it is. Because that's the thing. You guys actually won't notice what I'm talking about unless you go load into Rebirth yourself. You won't even realize that Urzikstan does have a fog, haze, smog pollution problem or something. I don't know how to explain it to you. You won't even see it unless it is by way of comparison. So go play a game of Urzikstan and then load into Rebirth Island and exit your pause menu in the pregame lobby, and you will immediately see exactly what I'm talking about. They are capable of having crystal clear clarity outside on a map, and they've done it in the pregame lobby of Rebirth. They do not do it on Urzikstan. Don't know why. Now, again, outside, it's like whatever. It's not great. It's not good. It's pretty bad. And in buildings, it's quite bad. But it has been worse, so whatever. But it does need to get a lot better. I think my biggest problem with the visibility on Urzikstan is the gulag is substantially worse.
Terrible.
Substantially worse. It is quite dark. And in ranked, people sweat. So they use like the dark skin. So there are a lot of black noirs again. In a dark ass gulag. And now I have muzzle flash because a gulag gun doesn't have my attachments or whatever. And once I start barking, I can't see. I can't see. I can't see. And then I die because I can't see. That's not how I should die in an FPS game. I should die because I can't aim, or I rotate badly, or I suck, or I didn't hear, well, not because I didn't hear the guy, or something like that. I shouldn't die because I can't see someone in a fucking FPS game.
Yeah.
Change it now. The gulag is the worst for sure in terms of Urzikstan visibility.
100%.
But
the gulag's awful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so bad. And it amazes me every time how far around corners, specifically in the gulag, you die. The gulag, it's just fake. That's the only way to put it. The whole gulag is...
You've been saying this for years.
The game has a predetermined winner as soon as it spawns both of you in there. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what the other person does.
It's just a lotto, yeah.
It has a predetermined winner. You can't do anything. You've posted clips. I've seen crazy clips on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
The tick rate in the gulag, they throw you in another server, first of all. You just get launched into an entirely separate server.
Yeah,
the tick rate's negative. It's negative, actually. There isn't a tick whatsoever. Nothing's ticking. There's nothing's beating. It's a fake, predetermined lie. And it's just another example of them lying to us. It's so crazy. The gulag, I just can't stress enough how bad it feels to play the gulag. Horrendous. It's the worst experience you can have in the gulag. In the game is having a gunfight in the gulag. There's nothing worse.
Yeah, that's actually true. It's between the really bad hit reg and the terrible visibility, it's really bad.
Somebody asked in chat, by the way, Daryl asked, why is it so bad though? It's the same map. What did they do to visibility?
Couldn't tell
We
ya.
said this early on. In my opinion, it was probably this bad on the launch of Urzikstan, but when a map is new, you don't notice everything. Since we played it for a year, and then they revert everything, and then we again start playing it, you notice, I can't see anything all of a sudden. Why can't I see these things? And it's probably the buildup of them doing little changes throughout the year, because we know early on last year they did a bunch of lighting changes specifically to the inside of buildings. They probably also did other things, because the things meaningful they usually don't put in the patch notes. They'll put in the patch notes that they quick fix, and they didn't, they'll lie to you. But when they make meaningful changes, like they fix the lighting or they do this or that, they somehow always leave it out of the patch notes. The thing that matters never get in there. So probably throughout the year, little by little, they were making small changes, and we didn't realize it because it would happen in small increments. It would just get better. And then now we go right back to what it was like on day one. So it's probably no different than day one of last year is what I'm getting at. Yeah. And then Pim also says, maybe they put the haze on Urzikstan to cover the stuff in the distance that isn't rendered. It's funny you say that, because again, this year, objects really far away are doing that render thing again, like in Moz and the very beginning of Urzikstan, where they're so far away and their character model essentially doesn't render. I don't know if you've noticed that sniping, but recently in Urzikstan, throughout most of the year, when you would see people really far away through your sniper scope, they would just be really far away and they'd be rendering. You can see them running, but it's back to the thing where they don't render properly at range. And in Moz, you remember their character model would just be standing up straight and moving.
Yeah,
it's like that again. It's so bad.
I've not noticed that, but I haven't sniped.
Yeah, I mean, it really doesn't matter. It's just more of a funny thing, because you're never hitting those shots anyways. It's like extreme distances, but
yeah,
just goes to show you every single goddamn thing got reverted. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the game sucks.
Yeah. So on a brighter note, I'm very happy to say this, and I'm frankly quite surprised to be saying it. The audio is pretty fucking good right now on Urzikstan specifically. I can't comment really on Rebirth or what's the other map? Oh my god, what's the other map?
The other Resurgence map, Area 99?
Yeah. Area 99, yeah.
The 99th area.
Oh, I can speak to Area 99. Audio is actually pretty good there too. The the reverb is still entirely too loud on Area 99 specifically. Change it. But they did reduce the reverb on Urzikstan, which is noticeable. By the time they did that, I could tell when I was hearing reverb versus other players, to be fair. But it should never be in the game anyway, but that helps, I guess, the reduced reverb. But mainly, I have not died in like 2 weeks, like since that update. Well, no, that's not true. Hold on, let me settle down. I have rarely died, but I have sometimes.
Okay.
The people I should have heard, but did not. But by and large, I'm hearing people. And the moment I was sold on this was in ranked. My shit teammates were dead.
Ranked.
I was last one alive. And I said, okay, I almost have 3K. I'm going to land in hills. Nothing around. There's no reason for any other team to be here. Just so I can survive, loot some random shit, buy one back. And I'm running on a hill. And I think there's no fucking chance I'm hearing people, right? And then a moment later, those are definitely guys. No fucking way. And I was conflicted because part of me was very annoyed that there were people here. I mean, nowhere. I can't explain to you where I was because it wasn't anywhere. I wasn't anywhere. I didn't expect anyone to be there, so I was really annoyed at that. But I was also pleased that I heard them quite clearly and from pretty far away, so much that I was able to get the jump on them and then get slammed hard because it was 3 people against me with like a pistol. So I died, but I heard them on grass clearly and with good directionality. And I was like, yeah, okay, you know what? Hats off to Activision for getting the audio pretty good. Pretty good. Is it as good as it once was in the golden age of Warzone, which was season 3 or 4 of MW3? No, not at all.
No.
Because there are times where someone will run up right to me and I will get no fucking audio. But it's pretty rare now, actually. And when I do hear people, the directionality is always good. I never hear something and am not sure where they're coming from. That's a lot, by the way. That's a big deal because that's almost never been true in Warzone. Like, think of Warzone 2. I could hear everyone, but I had no fucking clue where they were. Go to Castle on Ashika Island. Tell me where those footsteps are coming from. You can't. It's not possible. But in this game, the directionality is actually really good. And most of the time I'm hearing people, which is quite nice. There's still work to be done. Remove the reverb entirely and make it more consistent. So I always hear people I should. But that's really all they need to do as far as I'm concerned. Well, no, it's not. Make my gunshot way quieter. Make my teammates' footsteps quieter. Make my own footsteps quieter. Take the fucking bells and jingles and fucking keychains off of my character also. Do all of that. So there is work to be done actually on audio. Stop doing that. Yeah, the audio is not that good, actually. Yeah, you're convincing me. Footstep audio is pretty good, but the audio as a whole, it still needs actually a considerable amount of work. A considerable amount of work. That's a great point. Yeah, you've raised a lot of great points, actually.
The directional audio is okay on Urzikstan, but also part of that is because it's usually obvious where somebody's coming from. If you're in a building, like on the roof, and you hear running in a building, they're below you. If you're bottom floor of a building and you hear running, they're above you. But something like Rebirth, the directional audio is really fucking bad. You'll be in a building or in prison, you'll hear footsteps everywhere, won't have a goddamn clue where they are.
I can see that.
I think it's more just, I think the audio still just sucks. It's just, since Urzikstan is more predictable, it's generally pretty easy to figure out where that audio is coming from.
Yeah, that's entirely possible. That's a good point.
But going right back down again, the servers don't feel better whatsoever to me at all. I kind of thought at first the hit reg felt a little better, and sometimes that does feel better. Like myself hitting other players felt a little bit better, but in terms of dying around corners and dying around a corner a lot, by the way, quite a bit around a corner, a good amount around a corner, unchanged. Completely unchanged. And then I already explained the whole gulag thing. That's just a different video game entirely. And it's really fucking bad because the game sucks. But so the servers are still ass, unfortunately. And they will be. They won't fix it.
That's because I think you had mentioned you saw someone on Twitter saying that this actually mattered. And I was quite surprised.
I saw numerous people saying that.
Yeah, seems like cope for sure.
It was probably cope.
I mean,
but when I shot other people, that felt a little bit different. But in terms of me dying, it was exactly the same. It still feels like the classic, like, I mean, even a multiplayer, like when we were playing customs last night, you shot me with an Asval at one point. I swear to God, it feels like 5 bullets went through the same hole in my chest at the exact same time. You fired 5 bullets that were somehow wrapped around each other, and they all went into me at once. Yeah. I did not get hit 5 times on my screen. I'm just instantly melted. I didn't even get a hit marker. I didn't get any sort of feedback. I'm just alive, and then I'm dead the next second. So that, Warzone feels like that as well. Because the game
the servers feel no different whatsoever to me. Like the hit reg issues, they feel
because it's Treyarch. Yeah, people think it's like Warzone server issues, but they don't understand this is how every Treyarch game feels, and this is just Treyarch on 300.
Yeah, there's no way it's a coincidence. I agree. People
it's
are like,
fucking Treyarch.
It's Raven that makes Warzone or whatever. Okay, am I expected to believe this is a coincidence that BO6 I die behind corners in exactly the same way I do in Warzone, and only now that we're doing a BO6 integration? Fuck off.
BO4, Cold War, BO6, Treyarch's Warzone right now. Yeah. Every single one of those had one thing in common. You would die around corners lots.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. Treyarch's at fault for some reason. Whether they're officially in charge of Warzone or not is immaterial. There's no way it's a coincidence. Yeah. Okay, so a couple other things. On the ranked front, disallowing players who are hard stuck pubs to queue means that you can no longer have fun games before you hit diamond. Every single team is at minimum fairly above average. And that was a massive disappointment for me on day one. Because how ranked used to work, ranked Warzone, because now you have to place in the top 15 or 6 50 times cumulatively in BR or Resurgence, respectively. A lot of players that I now understand who used to play ranked just had never met that threshold before. So when I would queue ranked in like season 3 or whatever, and I am like gold for the first couple games, everyone would be fucking dog shit, just ass, run them over, roll through lobbies, make dumb plays on purpose because you can, because that's how bad the players were, because there were effectively 2 different skill brackets for ranked Warzone. It was bronze to gold 3, and then diamond to cheaters. That is just not true anymore, I guess. And I think it's because they don't let players who are hard stuck pubs even play at all ranked Warzone. So now even when you are unranked, everyone is at least competent, like quite competent.
Yep.
There are no free kills in ranked for me, at least or for us, in the last whatever, for me, in the last 2 days. Everyone's at least like competent, and that's disappointing. I think this might, as time goes on, this will stop being true, because the longer the game comes out, the sooner anyone's going to get 50 of those top placements or whatever. But yeah, if you're bad, stop being hard stuck pubs, because I want you in my ranked Warzone lobbies now. Get grinding. Not much else to say on this.
Yeah,
me, though.
I mean, it'll get a little bit better in a few days when everyone's in a higher bracket, all the actual
That's
good players, but
yeah.
It definitely is holding people back for sure. Because yeah, it's 30 high placements, so that's.
Oh, wait, I thought it was 50. Okay.
No, it's 30. So that's quite a bit for people who aren't good at the game. That's not super easy to get to.
Yeah. That's just a lot of time too.
It's a lot of time.
Even if you're hitting that every single match you play, that's probably 20 minutes per match if you're hitting top placement.
Yeah.
So that's what, 600 minutes? That's 10 hours. That's 10 hours if you
every game.
Place every single time. Yeah. That's a long time.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right.
But the good thing is it blocks the cheaters, because there haven't been any, right?
Yeah, actually, that leads to our next first impression. Cheaters on day one seemed fine. Not. They're not. There are fucking lots of cheaters.
Are there?
There are lots of goddamn cheaters, yeah. So first of all, I guess I don't know what top 500 regional qualifier means, right? Because my understanding was there could only be 500.
No, it's just regional qualifier.
qualifiers.
Just regional qualifier.
Yeah. So when it says top 500 regional qualifier, I meant that it would only be possible for there to be 500 of those people, which I find curious because I've seen millions of them. Because everyone actually, apparently, except me, is a top 500 regional qualifier, according to the people who kill me. Now, what is actually going on here, of course? These people are cheaters who are using unlock tools to equip calling cards they haven't used. And guess what? People who use unlock tools also do all the time aimbot and wall hack. There are fucking a ton of cheaters. Yeah. Just a ton of them. Blatant wall hackers, blatant aimbotters. Here's another clip for you. If you're in the Discord, you should join it. If you're not, in the Cat Piss Deaths channel, Ben clipped it from my stream. Cope dies to some guy, and he's like, oh, this guy's cheating. And I'm like, oh, God damn it. So I start backing off, and he's already got me like one shot. I don't even see the guy. So I'm like, okay, this is cool. So I go prone. I start plating. And then he comes up the mountain and just torches my shit. Doesn't miss a bullet. And then I'm like, wow, that guy felt extremely good. And then I watched the kill cam. That's what the clip is of. And you can see he's pre-aiming me before I'm in his line of sight. As soon as he crests the mountain, he starts blasting me. I run behind a sign or billboard or some shit, and he's perfectly pinpoint pixel perfect tracking me the entire time. Kills me.
Yeah.
We end up actually winning that game because Jake's able to snipe them, because cheaters are not good players. They're retarded and dog shit. So they are killable, but it's pretty hard. But if you have a sniper, you can do it. That's the only reason I wasn't able to. But yeah, that's not the only cheater we've seen. I mean, a lot more. And again, because I understand that there are other actors in the world, I've seen, you can go yourself on Twitter and see, oh, Warzone cheaters or whatever. There are fucking lots. You can find lots of clips. You can find lots of tweets. And who's surprised by this? No one. Well, some of you might be. I'm certainly fucking not. Remember the 1 hour time to action, by the way? LOL.
That's what they were
LA
trying
giggle.
to get, yeah.
Yet another lie we were told by Activision. Just like the lie where they said, hey, we fixed quick fix. No, you didn't. You lied. This is another lie.
They also said they fixed the servers, yeah.
They also said they fixed the servers, yeah.
They also said
a lot
you
of things.
hitting a person dead on when they're not moving and seeing blood splatter on your screen but no hit marker means you didn't actually hit them, because that's true.
Right.
And they're not bad at developing video games.
And
And the
sense.
game's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah, and what shooter game can I point my gun at you and shoot, and then it doesn't work? Yeah,
Yeah.
I hate them a lot.
Yeah.
So much. Yeah. So on the bright side on the cheater thing though, if you like stick to pubs, there might be fewer cheaters than there were now that ranked exists. But on the
There
downside,
will probably be fewer, a little bit less.
Yeah, but on the downside, exactly, is if you play ranked, then you're gonna see probably more cheaters than you've ever seen in Warzone since the integration. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Cool and fun. Okay. And then just a couple other things here, and we'll wrap this up. Last point for me. We need a lot more buy stations. Honors
Like
extent
10 more.
in ranked.
Yeah.
Yeah. There have been, I think it's more common than not that by the fourth circle, there is one buy station left. That is way too soon for there to be only one buy. And it makes it actually quite RNG, because whatever team happened to be closest basically wins the game for free if they just use their brains and control that buy. It's really not complicated. So you shouldn't have too many buy stations, because then you're going to have other issues. But I don't know if we've ever had that problem in Warzone before, but we've certainly had this problem before, and we're having it again because Warzone integrations means we get all the same problems over and over again. Fun of this, which is too few buy stations. That's the biggest problem, is toward the late game, there are just no buys anymore, or there's one. And it's like, okay, well, I mean, so whatever team is on that just wins. They just are granted a win because there aren't enough buy stations here. But it also impacts the early game and the mid game.
Yep.
It's bad. There are not enough buy stations. Put more of them in. Now, it might be the case that the buy stations are random from match to match in ranked. That's what people have been saying. Tanner seemed to have confirmed that. I'm fine with randomized buy stations. I can see an argument for like, oh yeah, we want the ranked players to be adaptable so that they can't just always land at the same POI in the same building and access the same buy and then go to the same next buy, blah, blah, blah. Make people kind of change it up. I'm fine with that. But put more. Like if you're going to do random, instead of a random 30, do a random 40 or whatever the number. But we need more buys. Yeah. It's that simple.
Yeah. A lot more buys. And again, if I'm not mistaken, almost positive last year at some point, because remember they would adjust the buy stations every season. They also at some point just added more buy stations, period. So because do you remember at the beginning of Urzikstan, that was an issue too? You would always have final circles where there was no buy station. So then they adjusted it and they added a lot more buys. I want to say it was between 10 and 15 more to the map. And that sounds like a lot, but when you think that's like one at every POI, basically, it's not that many more at all, actually. So they definitely need to do that. That's what I think.
Yeah. Why is that dude on the right? He's such a dick. It's
Who's he talking about? Me or you?
That's why it's funny. It's because whoever's on the right is the one talking. So are we both dicks?
I would imagine, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, based. Fantastic comms. Okay. Anyway, yeah, we need more buzz.
Good comms, Bearded.
Yeah, great comms. And then, yeah, last thing here. I believe you wrote this. Yeah, what are we looking at here, buddy?
Yeah. Last thing here, since the game sucks a lot right now, I'm very excited for this weapon balance update that they're going to do soon that they talked about, because this is one of the big problems right now with the game for me personally is the visual recoil, the sway, the gun bob, all of that. And that's something that they're going to update and change here soon. I'm assuming it'll be this week because they said it'll be soon. So yeah, because one thing,
Surely.
Iron Sight Jackal, unusable on KBAM. It just is. You and I were talking about this with Jake yesterday, and he was like, perfectly serviceable irons. You don't like them either, I know. But I was like, they're not that bad in theory. And then I went into the firing range and I was like using them. I was like, I now understand what it is. The actual irons aren't that bad, but the visual shake of the gun is so terrible that when you start shooting and you have to track people, you do not see anything because it all bounces around all over the place. Your whole screen, it has micro shaking happening. So it makes it very, very difficult to track things. So like that's why I've barely been using SMGs, because all of them feel that way to me. You just can't track things. So this is going to be huge, I think, for the game. It'll make it feel a lot better, because that was one thing that was near perfect all of last year, is the way the guns felt in terms of recoil control, visual recoil, all of that. So that update's going to be huge. That could be like the start of the game actually being fun for me, hopefully, because this will be like very, very big. This is very important for KBAM specific players, but it's good for everybody because it's annoying having your screen shake every time you're in a gunfight. It's just a bad mechanic to have, and I don't understand why they keep adding it. And then we'll improve on it one year a lot, and then the next year it goes right back to square one and it's bad again. And that's what just happened.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's why this is so frustrating. Yeah, I am excited for this update, and I think it's good that they're going to do it. But I mean, like you just said, it was fine before the integration. Why did you fuck it up, dude? Like, it's so frustrating. It's so tilting. But yeah, on the Jackal specifically, I agree. The iron sights are not serviceable, even on controller, in my opinion. They're pretty bad. The iron sights themselves are bad, and then that problem is compounded by what you just said, which is the bullshit, the visual shake.
Yeah.
The like, I don't know what word I'm looking for, but yeah, that'll help. But I think just the iron sights just suck for most guns in this game. Also, I think.
Yeah,
I don't know if we mentioned
you
this
are
on
right.
The pod,
the irons are not good in this
talking
game.
About it. But yeah, like in BO6 with BO6 guns, the way the game frames your weapon when you're looking down iron sights, there's always just so much receiver on your screen. That doesn't need to be that way. Like the iron sights on the C9 are almost certainly worse than the iron sights on the MP5, even though they're effectively the same weapon model. Because for whatever reason with BO6 guns, instead of looking down the iron sight, your character like looks down it, but from a foot away. So the whole receiver's on your screen for no reason. Mm-hmm. Like, why are we doing this? Like, I'd love to see my screen.
Yeah, actually. There's one gun in the game that has good irons, and it's the AK.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing else does.
Yeah, even like the PPs are like pretty good by BO6 standards, but still way too much chassis or receiver, whatever, in the on your
and
screen.
The Jackal especially, it really feels like it really takes
bad.
up the entire bottom of your screen. It's weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't like them at all.
Because it's a bad game.
I can use them because I'm on controller, but I still don't like it at all. Yeah.
So. Yeah, that's the biggest thing is like I try not to build. I try to build a 5 attachment gun for the Jackal, and I just can't because I want to use the iron so bad because I want to use that 5th attachment for something like recoil control, because it bounces all over the place. And you just can't. And then you have to run an optic, and then it has more recoil. It's not as much visual recoil anymore because you're looking through an optic instead, but then the gun just is a lot worse because of it. So
yeah,
the weapon balance pass, when they do all that, that will be huge if they do it correctly.
Yeah, for sure. They will.
That'll be a bigger update for me personally than Season 1 Reloaded. Is just them changing.
I would imagine for sure. Yeah, that'll be impactful and a good change. For some reason I believe that, but they won't fix the iron sight thing ever. So
yeah, no,
you're just going to see a lot of
the
receiver. Yeah, exactly. So, but still, there's still a lot that can make it a lot better. So yeah. And yeah, okay, that's pretty much it. So hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you learned something. And yeah, we got a lot of work to do, but I mean, is the game better now than it was before the patch?
It's not really much different, to be honest. Not for Warzone. We have ranked on a 1-year-old map. Got it.
Yeah, like I don't know. I can't answer that. Like, in some ways, is it better in any ways? No, actually. There's new content. It's better in that way. But in terms of like bug fixes, there were none. None that matter. And then there were also new bugs introduced. So this is lately, for the past maybe 18 months or so, how I've been evaluating every patch. Is the game better now that the patch happened than it was before? Usually the answer is yes, despite how bad the game has been at a lot of intervals in those 18 months. It does typically get better with a new patch. Usually our gripe is that it didn't improve enough. But in this case, actually, I don't know if it's better. I mean, it's better in terms of there is new content, but in terms of the core fundamentals of like Warzone, I actually don't think it's any better. I mean, the audio is the same, the visibility is the same, the hit reg is the same. All the perks that didn't work still don't work, with the exception of Scavenger, I guess. So there's something. And that's it. So I guess it's very slightly better because Scavenger works now. I've fucking got it. Cocky Kev! The 1999 United States dollar Giga Chat says cheers. Kev, cheers to you.
That's a cheers, brother.
That's a big cheers.
I hate that I just said that.
Much.
I'm very annoyed.
I don't know why you did that either.
I don't know. I don't think I've ever said that in my life.
That was
I did not
weird.
like that at all. Oh,
bro got possessed.
We have to edit that out. I did not like that.
I'll keep that in mind for sure. Yeah. Kev,
we also got a couple subs
for the 1999.
Thank you, Kev.
Chat.
Appreciate it, buddy.
We also did get a couple of subs. Pimlovsky said Razinon Mind, which is an emote, and he subscribed at tier 1 for 4 months. An absolute dog. Timmy boy, welcome back, King. We love and appreciate you. And also Ducky, aka Hitori Gato, who was slamming us lots at our Damascus hangout last night, said, take my Prime sub smile, and he found the correct smiley face. Good work, Ducky. Great work. Ducky, thank you for the Prime, big dog.
Oh, he was the random guy in there you guys were asking about?
Yes.
That's funny.
It was Ducky. Yeah, he came into Scriblio and was like, yeah, that's me. I was like, oh, okay. Got it. Yeah. Which tracks, because I remember he was quite good. So yeah, Tim,
cheers, brother. Thanks, Kev.
Ducky, and Kev. Thank you very much, boys, for the support. Before we go, a couple quick announcements. We'll get out of here quick, though. We did our patron Q&A. It was fun and exciting. You should go listen to it if you're platinum and above. If you're not a patron, you can become one for 50% off for the entire month of December. Ad-free episodes, early access episodes, and bonus episodes as low as $2.50 for an entire month. The value is insane. Use it. And if you want to support the program, give us a little Christmas gift. You can donate through our website or through the donate link that you can find in the description or whatever. That would be awesome. Or you could gift patron subs, memberships, whatever, to your friends if you wanted to do that as well. It's another great way to support the program. Or you can do nothing, which is what most of you will do, but at least get your friends to listen or something. Do something. You know what I mean? That's what I always say. So yeah, Patron discounts. You can gift patrons, memberships, whatever. Hit the like button if you're on YouTube, if you haven't done that yet. And Activision devs, excuse me, here's gonna be the new sign off. Remember, Activision devs do not play their own game.
Game sucks a lot.